Volunteer Now has been working with CO3 and the VSB Foundation since 2016 to promote the Good Governance Awards for the voluntary community sector in Northern Ireland. About 33,000 people regularly volunteer on management committees in Northern Ireland. This provides the backbone of governance for the charity sector.
Within our governance then, and it's a constant process of evolution and improvement, and we constantly strive to reach that top level of governance, and fortunately this award probably was a vindication of what we've done and seem to have done it right. For example, when we went out to recruit board members, a lot of people will do it on a nod and a wink and they'll bring somebody on a board. We become totally transparent about our recruitment process. So therefore we go out and we recruit board members by way of advertisement in the daily papers. We go through a full interview process and we recruit the best people for the position based on the skill sets and that we need at that point in time. My background, believe it or not, has nothing to do with charity or with the social care and that. I'm actually an engineer by background. And that's no bad thing because I bring a unique set of skills to the organisation. And an engineer by nature will break things down to a component parts and put it back together. That logical thinking is there. You need people like me on a board, but you also need the other balance. You need the people with the care skills and you need that. So we built the board on those principles. And we weren't just building one board, we were actually building 4 boards because we have 4 companies and all with an Extern.
We actually applied for funding to do roles and responsibilities board training. So full attendance from the board, which I was delighted with, organised an evening and got Nick in again to deliver good governance training and what the roles and responsibility of the board were. And again, even though we'd already done it with the Constitution, there were still areas that came out that they weren't aware that they were responsible for and things like that. And from that as well, then we did a board analysis need assessment. So it was find the strengths and the weaknesses of the board. And it also, I found, clarified my relationship with the board, because that can be quite cloudy sometimes, and and what their responsibility to me was, because sometimes people think because you're the director of an organisation, you're fully responsible, and the board sometimes feel that too. So I just find those practical steps were fantastic in just bringing the organisation forward into a new era.
I would want to explain first of all what governance is all about, which is fundamentally really the rules and the regulations and the style of management that pertains within an organisation. And I think once you set those rules and regulations in place, then that helps the public, it helps the staff who work in the organisation, and it helps the trustees who effectively have got to try and manage the organisation. So having set those in place, then, and it takes a wee while, by the way, to get those agreed and to get them recognised as being fundamental to the organisation. So having set up your protocols, your policies and so on, then everybody knows what it is we're trying to work to in trying to govern, manage the organisation in a controlled manner.
When we recruit, we go through an induction process with our board members, which is crucially important. So we leave out a full day. I'll spend a half a day with the prospective board members going through our governance process. We also developed a governance manual. So every board member gets a governance manual full of all the papers, all the policy documents, everything. And we constantly update that. It's not just a dead document, it's a live document that's constantly evolving. We use that manual and we give it to our board members. The second part of our induction day is generally around making sure that the board members get out to the projects that we do. Extern is about 40 different projects working around the island. So we get them out to see firsthand so that they have an understanding.
Anybody new that came into the board, and for my time, they were just co-opted onto the board without any process or procedure in place. So now what we do is we do a mentoring programme. So if a new board member comes on board, we allow them to come to 3 board meetings. They observe, they don't take part or can't make any decisions. Then we meet with them informally, see how they feel about us. Then my chair will meet with me as a director to see how I feel about the person, how he feels about the person, to see can we all work together. And then we either agree, let's move forward or let's leave it. So you're not bringing anybody onto the board that, you know, I'm not saying they're not a good board member, but they may not be a good board member for Play Resource. So it is about building that relationship before they even come on board.
As a sector, we're not particularly good at recognising and rewarding leadership and good governance generally. So this is one of those rare occasions whereby we're able to stand tall and recognise and reward the fantastic leadership of our boards. When we think about it, you know, boards are often the unsung heroes. They work on a voluntary basis. They have ultimate legal responsibility for the charity. Then they're there to provide that strategic oversight function. So this is a rare opportunity, a rare platform to recognise and reward the fantastic leadership that exists at board level. The application process, I'm glad to say, is very accessible. You can find the application details on the CO3 website. And in addition to getting the recognition and the accolade of an award for the overall prize winners, there's also the extra bonus of £1,000 towards supporting and furthering good governance in your charity.